Hello, dear friends. It was time to touch a symbol so important as this one. Opinion piece. Red pill represents the truth. New Republic of Light. The blue pill symbolizes ignorance. Disclosure is not as smooth as before. Did they try to launch the EBS last week? Let's start. The expression "take the red pill" has become very popular to refer to the decision to face the truth, even if it is painful or uncomfortable, instead of live in ignorance. It is also used as a metaphor to open your eyes to social, political, or cultural realities that are often hidden or ignored. The expression "take the red pill" is a reference to the famous scene in the movie The Matrix, directed by the Wachowski brothers. In this scene, the protagonist, Neo, played by Keanu Reeves, meets Morpheus, who offers him two options: take a red pill or a blue pill. The red pill represents the truth, the raw and unfiltered reality. So, by taking it, Neo would be willing to face uncomfortable truths and accept the difficult reality that his life up to that point has been an illusion created by machines to keep humankind in slavery, while his mind lives inside a virtual simulation called the Matrix. In essence, taking the red pill means waking up from the dream and facing the truth, difficult as it may be. On the other hand, the blue pill symbolizes ignorance, comfort and permanence in the current state of things. By taking it, Neo would continue in the illusion of the Matrix without questioning reality and living an apparently normal life. An example of a red pill. Do you think that a supposedly good millionaire would be interested in creating a world of peace and love in which he would lose his power and his fortune? They will try to create a system of subsidies and grants to please the people in which they do not lose power, and the later, the better for them. They will try to offer a scenario of decaffeinated paradise and disguised tyranny. That would be exactly a grey hat, but the divine plan is above his will, and Jesus said that the rich man cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. I want it all, as the song says. We want it all, not half. Message. Saint Germain says that these changes that we have envisioned have been largely invisible, but are now beginning to come more and more to the fore. Light filters into all areas of the planet more and more. The light of truth, of unity, and of the present I am within each and every one of the beings on the planet. Even those who turn away from the light cannot resist the light. They cannot oppose it, and they will be consumed by that light if they do. Know that as these changes continue to unfold across the planet, more and more people are awakening. Each and every one of you has taken the so-called red pill, and more people are starting to take that red pill. You can no longer take the blue pill and go back to sleep, as you progress beyond that, as if there was a line drawn in the sand, and all of you have moved through it, never to go back. Because you are in the process of ascension, passing from one level of consciousness to another. Each and every one of you awake to the inner presence I am, and that sacred presence is there forever with you. It has always been there, and now you are awakening to a higher level of consciousness that brings that connection to your higher self. Many have connected with their higher self and with their guides who work diligently to lead them step by step up the ladder of love and unity. This is the time to achieve freedom within each and every one of you, and freedom for everyone around you. Freedom for the country you are in, whatever it is. It's about reaching freedom so that you are free to love and share, and be one with each and everyone, without thoughts of fear, anger, hate, or jealousy. All to be replaced by love and light, and the truth will certainly set you all free. Nothing and no one can stop you now or prevent you from gaining more momentum as a collective and as the dominoes begin to fall, and will continue to fall faster across the planet. The battle that all of you are winning is the new Republic of Light. Reset News. Digger Bar says, "We are doing the heavy lifting. We need heroes. You are a hero if you do positive work." Pete Santilli believes that we are not waiting until 2024 and that it would happen on August 16th and 17th in his opinion. Susie Ward suffered a heart attack a few days ago. She recovers and is in good hands. They accused Trump of 3 more counts in the case of the documents, and the 3rd defendant is added. The US continues to tighten the rope with China and may burst it. China is likely to provide military aid to Russia according to intelligence report. China surpasses the US in critical space capacity in case of conflict. Grow food in conditions similar to Mars' new NASA test. Meta plays files from Facebook detailing the government's censorship effort. Phil said on his live on July 25th that the White Hats tried to launch CBS last week, but it was stopped by the cabal. However, doing so exposed them in a way that made it the last monkey wrench they had to stop it. According to Dennis Montgomery and Mike Lindell, the Hammer is a surveillance program used to spy on activities on protected networks, and the Scorecard is a vote manipulating application that changes the result. The Las Vegas police rescue little ones locked in dog cages. ET disclosure. The disclosure of extraterrestrial life is no longer as smooth as before. Hearings are taking place on the system of non-human life and advanced technology as hidden part of our reality. The Storm Rider explains the phases that the ET disclosure will follow. Former soldiers affirm that UFOs exist before the US Congress, and that the government hides ships and non-human remains. On Wednesday, July 26th, the House of Representatives began hearing testimony from 3 UFO witnesses: former Navy pilot Ryan Graves, retired Navy Commander David Fravor, and former intelligence officer David Grush. Ex-intelligence officer affirms that the US has UFOs in its possession. Former Navy pilot swore that the US rescued non-human biological remains from UFOs. Torhan answers questions about the contemporary era on Earth and describes how, despite mainstream media narratives, a major war involving the superpowers will not occur. He says that the coalition is in control behind the scenes and that it is heading towards the disclosure of ET life and technology. According to Logan B., Gaia has activated the Doomsday Black Swan event protocol. The dark ones that remain have no intention of leaving. Gaia is prepared to do whatever it takes to get rid of them. She would appreciate all the help she can get from the Galactics, so she won't be too drastic, but she would if she had to, in case she had to. One of the crucial issues that the BRICS countries will discuss at their summit is long-term payment systems for cross-border trade. According to Kitco News, the BRICS group may not create a new gold standard, but the world still needs a monetary metal. It all goes back to gold. The precious metal has no counterparty risk, is not indebted to any government or entity, and is a reliable, safe haven asset. The president of the BRICS Bank will meet with Putin. Putin says that the BRICS are not in cahoots, but are in favor of mutual interests. Russian citizens will not be forced to use the digital ruble, and it will be voluntary. Ukraine. Russia launches a massive attack against Ukraine with dozens of missiles. RFK Jr. says the West torpedoed peace in Ukraine because it wants war. The sanctions have not destroyed the Russian economy, according to the US. The politicization of food aid killed the Black Sea Grains Initiative. Peace agreement in Ukraine? It's a question, not an answer. According to Benjamin Fulford, last week a principle of agreement was secretly reached to end the war in Ukraine after high-level negotiations. Detail will be negotiated in the coming months. Russia would get the Ukrainian Black Sea coast. The city of Odessa would become a demilitarized free trade zone, and the country of Abkhazia would be internationally recognized. Africa. Abkhazia is the name of the country. Strange country. Africa. Niger's military dismisses the president of their country. Niger suffers a new coup 2 years after completing its first peaceful transition since independence. The Congo denounces the violation of its border by the Rwandan military. Mali's new constitution leaves French out as an official language. Spain. Electoral surprise in Spain. The socialist resists and the PP doesn't have a majority to govern. The Popular Party and Vox will not be able to govern in Spain. Vox wants to have access to the minutes issued on Sunday by the polling stations to verify the results. Spain will have to cut almost 10,000 million in public spending to comply with Brussels. Americas. The IMF improves the growth outlook for Mexico. Mexico complains to the US because 75% of the waterfall is in its territory. Mexico and the US agree to combat fentanyl and arms trafficking. Colombia established the request of ex-paramilitaries to be peace managers. Free laundries in Bogota to improve the quality of life of women. The Argentine health system resists despite the economic crisis. The Argentine industry reaches its best result in 7 years in the first semester. Argentina reaches record levels in unconventional gas production. The Argentine justice paralyzes mining exploitation in the southern region of the Rio Negro. Argentina faces the demand of vulture funds for the expropriation of IPF. Argentina proposes to the US the payment of $4,920 million for the expropriation of the IPF. Uruguay installs a system to transfer water from Argentina and Brazil to solve its water crisis. Thousands of penguins mysteriously appear dead in Uruguay. Chile assumes the presidency of the Economic and Social Council of the UN. Chilean teachers go on strike asking for better working conditions. The Chilean justice orders compensation for an engineer tortured during the dictatorship. Bolivia registers the fourth lowest inflation in the world and the lowest in South America. The Bank of Bolivia carries out operation in yuan as an alternative to the dollar. Bolivia receives a donation of tablets from China for the population census. Demonstrators in Peru repudiate the appointment of Alejandro Soto as President of Congress. Peruvian police repress relatives of those killed in the protests against Boluarte. Flying cars arrive in the Americas and Brazil is a pioneer. The Haitian police expel the families that take refuge near the US Embassy. A monument to Simón Bolívar is inaugurated in Mexico. And that is all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.